And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for tapping in with us. Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus here on the Doing All Right. Y'all know how we doing. I know how good Bryan is. Bryan, fantastic. He doing good. I know y'all all right. Wherever you are, whether you at your home, you listening in the car, if you in the bed now and you listen to this on the ride to work in the morning, if you on a boat, however you listening to this, we love you to pieces. I appreciate y'all. Today we're gonna break down this Lions defense, Bryan Broaddus.
Yes, sir.
I noticed a theme, Bryan. Whenever we playing against teams this year, man, you go, boy, that offense scary over there, but that defense, okay, I got some answers for you. You know, other times, hey, that defense is ridiculous over there, but I don't really fear that offense too much, you know?
Right.
You know, watching the Lions, Bryan, that offense, it might be one of the best offenses in the league, a top 3 offense, something like that, top 2 maybe.
Sure.
I feel like what we do versus what they're gonna roll out on defense versus us. I think they're gonna play a bunch of base, you know, and
yeah.
And let me just say this, Bryan. This is the ultimate preface for all of this thing. If Mike McCarthy doesn't go out there and lay an egg, I think that's the ultimate preface to all this thing. You know, if he doesn't go out there and just hitches us to death, they line up in a bunch of base. So if we're creative enough to go, all right, well, I can just put CeeDee Lamb on that linebacker right there, right. Then we're good to go. You know, they don't have Cam Sutton anymore. Last year they just let us go find Cam Sutton, Bryan Broaddus. Now we got to go find Carlton and the rookie there, Terran Arnold. I think if you can find a way to put CeeDee Lamb on either one of those guys, I think that's a pretty good mismatch for you. Bryan, I got a question if you don't mind, Bryan.
Sure.
I just got a question for you. Man, Bryan Broaddus, when I watch the film on these Lions, man, I think there's a clear advantage for the Cowboys if we're throwing the football.
Yeah.
Bryan, you think this is one of them days where Mike McCarthy watch film, or maybe he don't watch film, I don't know what he do, and they got Alim, McNeill over there, DJ Reader over there, that's tough, them big linebackers over there, Aiden Hutchinson. Do you think Mike McCarthy's going to be stubborn with running the football this week, even though we should want no parts of run defense?
Yeah, I think you're clearly onto something there. You know, you look at how the Lions are going to play you, and you're absolutely right. Nobody plays more base defense, over 50%. They're clear. Dallas will play a lot of base defense against you too, but the Lions play the most. They're well over 50% on that, which is the most in the league. They have confidence now in their secondary with you. And you mentioned the Cam Suttons who you took advantage of last year. It didn't matter who you put on Cam Sutton. He was going to have a problem covering that particular player that night. You know, the things that have to worry you a little bit is, will Mike McCarthy, and you mentioned running the ball, I'll take it a step further. Will Mike McCarthy be willing to help both his tackles in this game? Because to me, you stop or slow down Aiden Hutchinson, they don't have anybody else that can hurt you rushing the passer.
Sure.
They don't. And so the pressures and the sacks are going to come from Hutchinson. Who else on that Lions defensive line is going to cause those pressures? They don't have anybody right now. They're one of the worst in the league when it comes to pressures with everybody else. So how committed is Mike McCarthy? Sure, running the ball, you know, I don't know if necessarily that's the thing. These linebackers play so damn tight to the line of scrimmage. You know, maybe it helps you with some of your reach blocks, your scoop blocks, you know, your combination blocks. I think Mike will try, but to me, I see a path where you block that number 97 and you work on number 23 on that cornerback spot. I do feel like with all the base coverages that they'll play, that you will get in a situation where maybe they'll say, you know what, we're going to take Branch and we're going to put him on Ferguson.
Sure.
And then we're going to take, you know, the other safety,
Kirby.
Joseph. And they're going to take Joseph and they're going to have him shade to CeeDee Lamb's side. This is where I worry about Mike McCarthy not moving CeeDee Lamb around, you know, and maybe this will be a game. I'd love to see a game where CeeDee is constantly moving, not stationary. Don't let Aaron Glenn put a safety or shade a safety to his side and kind of play some bracket coverage on him. Move him. Make these guys have to. It's like watching Steph Curry play basketball. I saw one night I was watching the Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors play live, and I was amazed at how much Steph Curry runs without the ball. I was amazed. He's always running through screens, running through this, do the same thing. Because if they're going to try and bracket this guy, you need to put him on the move so they can't do that. So I hope Mike can do that. But to your question, no, Mike will try to run the ball. And if they have some Pittsburgh-like success, maybe he keeps running the ball a little bit more. But I think it'll be difficult on this front seven the way it is. I like the tackles are physical inside. I think the linebackers are good players. I think they're really good players. So, but I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers had a good front too.
Yeah. So
maybe Mike will have some things up the sleeve. In this game they don't need to punt.
Sure.
And they don't need to kick field goals. You're going to have to score points in this football game. As compromised as your defense is, you're not going to have Eric Kendricks this weekend. Mm-hmm. He's not going to play. So, you've got to kind of figure some things out from that point now.
Just to be devil's advocate for a second, though, Bryan.
Yeah.
Devil says this. Yeah, okay. I maybe some other team wouldn't want to run at these guys, because they got Alim, McNeill, and DJ Reader in there. But Bryan Broaddus, we got Zach Martin and Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe strong as hell. Do you think that evens out a little bit? Should we go back to watch that Ravens game, right, and be like, all right, well, this is what we did versus Travis Jones and Madu Buike or whatever, right? Can we emulate something like that, because this is a superpower of ours? Do you think that the run game would possibly be there because we have the bodies to deal with those those one techs and threes over there?
Yeah, you have the bodies, you have the power. I mean, but these teams that are running the football really well now, we talked about the Lions. Lions one of the best running teams I've seen. When it comes to the way they play, their scheme, the commitment that they are to have it. If you told me that I could get Cooper Beebe up on second level blocks, if I could secure these, if I could secure Reader, and McNeill, if I could secure those guys, then and I could get a second level block, sure. But my center gets too latched on to the double team blocks.
Sure.
And then now you got guys running free. You got linebackers running free. So yeah, you have power to play with those guys. Where this will help you in this game, the power will help you. The power will help you throwing the ball, because Dak Prescott will have that ability to stand there and throw the ball in the middle of his pocket. But running the ball, if I just wish Beebe would do what Frank Ragnow does, and some of these centers, our guy down there in New Orleans, just shove a guy and go, And then, because you mentioned you got all Pro Bowl guards, playing. Trust them, bro. Just shove them and go get that guy, get that linebacker. Because if that's the case, these teams that have run the ball against Dallas, they've all got second level blocks.
Sure.
It's so pretty to watch a team really run the ball when their linemen are up on the second level, and then you got backs that hit that hole and go.
Man, Bryan, boy, Cowboy Nation a little spoiled, man. We just got some spoiled fans up in here, Bryan. Somebody was like, man, Voch, psh. You know what I'm saying? Voch, man, Myles Garrett, we saw where he was lined up. He was like right there. Chase Young, for the most part, was like right there. Owe and them boys, they didn't move to me. It was about right. They was right there, Voch. Voch. They was real spoiled when they said this, bro. I ain't like it. They was like, Voch, what side you think Aiden Hutchinson gonna be on? I was like, man, Aiden Hutchinson finna whoop everybody. Aiden Hutchinson finna be all up and down this line, and he finna whoop up on everybody, Bryan Broaddus. To your point, Bryan, you said this earlier, and if somebody didn't know any better, it may have put a smile on their face. You was like, well, Aiden Hutchinson is their only, pass rusher, and that is true. He is our only pass rush, but Aiden Hutchinson might be the best pass rusher in the league, Bryan Broaddus. He got
no question.
He got like 40 pressures and 6 sacks or something like that. in
That's
4
been crazy.
games. In 4 games, he averaged 10 pressures a game. Bryan Broaddus, Aiden Hutchinson going crazy right now, and Terrence still gonna see him. And I think Guyton may see him a lot. Bryan, do you have a beat on which tackle's gonna see him the most?
My gut is that I think he'll go against Terrence Steele the most.
Yeah,
that'd be my gut feeling. I think he feels better rushing from over there than he does from the other side.
Sure.
I need to go down and look at all of his sacks. I need to look at his sacks. There's a way on my computer that I could tag all his sacks.
That's all right, bro.
And we could see which sides he's rushing from to get these sacks. I should have looked at that. Now that you asked that question, but my gut feeling is that he'll probably be. I believe he'll be on Steele's side. That would be my gut, just because most teams are right-handed, and they run the ball to the right side, and they probably want him on that side playing the run too. These all the sacks?
Well, let's see. I got 6 of them, Bryan. I got all the sacks from this year.
That's all the sacks.
So right now he's on the he's over the right tackle. If they snap the ball.
There you go.
If Matthew Stafford snaps the ball here, let's just do a little exercise, Bryan. We ain't doing that.
There you go.
All right. so
that's one.
That's one over.
Did you see how wide he was lined up?
Yeah. He was way past the tight end. The running back had to go get him. He was way out there, Bryan.
Way past the running back right there.
Let's see this one. He's let me fast forward you a little bit. This is
the red zone sack.
Yes, sir. He's over the right tackle here. See if we speed that up a tad bit. Here we go. Boom.
There he goes. Oh, it coming underneath.
Oh, no. Oof.
Came underneath on the twist. Oh, is this Tampa?
Yes, Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tampa. Yeah, there he goes. I think he killed this guy. I think he gave up 2.5 sacks. This right tackle gave up 2.5 sacks in this game, I think is what happened.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So all right, he's over the right tackle again. So Bryan, that's so 3 of his 6 already. He's over the right tackle, and oh boy,
yeah.
Yo, Bryan, I would hate to see Aiden Hutchinson. Don't do the Michael Parsons crawl. Chill out. I would another versus Tampa Bay. All right.
Yeah, no, this right tackle. He's matter of fact. I think this is the first time this year that he's played against a starting right tackle. I think all the right tackles that he's rushed have all been backups.
Okay, well, that's something for us, Bryan. Damn, boy.
Oh, that's from the left. That one came from the left.
Yeah, he's over the left tackle here. Who is that? Tunzel?
This is Arizona.
No, it's Arizona. Oh, that's Arizona. I'm sure.
Just ducking. Oh, my man just ducked his head. Watch this. Watch him get out. Duck.
That's perfect too. That's perfect too. The hand right before to set that up, man. Ugh.
The guy does crawl, man. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't want him crawling on our turf.
Yeah, I don't like him stealing Micah's stuff. So yeah, that's 4 versus the right. That's 5 versus the right tackle and 1 versus the left, Bryan. So yeah, and then he got 40 pressures in 4 games. So yeah, this dude gonna be a handful, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You might want to treat him like it's a punt return. Just put 2 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some teams. There were some teams I was watching. Seattle, and they chipped him, and then the tackle finally got him. It's like they sent the tight end at him, they sent a back at him, and then they sent the offensive lineman over to block him. So crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, but great player. But that's what you deal with. It's the National Football League. This guy he's one of the great young pass rushers in this league.
But to your point, though, Bryan, as I look at our lads, Live Onzuruke, I remember him coming out of Washington. Josh Pascal, I remember him too. And then they kind of got
Pascal doesn't play the run as well.
Yeah.
Pascal can be a little bit of a liability over there.
Yeah, and they got James Houston. So you're right. Any pass rusher not named Aiden Hutchinson is not going to be doing that much for you.
You hope. You
would hope so. So if you're the play caller, hey, look, don't worry about the other side, right? This ain't like, okay, well, we're playing against the Giants, right? Mm-hmm. And Thibodeau is on that side. Let's put all the energy over there, and then Brian Burns whoop you one-on-one.
Yeah. You know what? Like you say, you're going to see how these guys can handle, if Hutchinson's on one side, can you block the other side one-on-one?
Yeah.
God, I hope, because the metrics and all that tell you that they've struggled as a pass rush unit, unless it's Aiden Hutchinson. So them losing a couple of guys, them losing, Derek Barnes, in the Arizona game. I mean, he hurt his knee. I watched him get carried off the field. And then Marcus Davenport, they tried to get pass rushers opposite, and Davenport's done for the year, and Derek Barnes is done for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're struggling right now over there, and I hope it stays that way, to be honest with you.
Now, Bryan, I asked you last episode, how many points do you think it'll take to beat these guys?
Yeah.
Now that you've watched the defense, Bryan,
yeah.
do you think we can get 28 points to beat these dudes? Do you think 4 touchdowns is something the Cowboys?
It's funny you say that, because Bobby Belt, I just got done doing Love of the Star with Bobby, and Bobby asked me a final score, and I said Lions 31, Dallas 26 is what I said. But it's tough. I just with Kendricks and others, I mean, Dallas is just, this is a bad matchup from what we've seen. Now my hope is that Ben Johnson has a bad day calling plays. Sure. We talked about it yesterday. If somehow, some way you can get pressure on Goff unpressured is Hall of Famer. Goff pressured looks like, is Drew Henson.
Sure.
That's Hall of Famer or Drew Henson. That's how the pressure affects. No other quarterback has more of a drop off statistically than Goff when not pressured and pressured.
Mm-hmm. And
so how do you find the pressure? How do you find it?
Sure.
Taylor Decker. I mean, if you told me Dallas has got Micah Parsons and Tank and others, I'm thinking, okay, but I just don't know. I mean, I don't know defending the running game. Again, here's a team that is they get guys up on linebackers, and when your best linebackers is not going to play, and it worries me that what are you going to do to get off the field?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to get off the field? And you know what? You almost have to play unconventionally, I think, on offense if you're Mike McCarthy, because that guy on the other side is going to play that way.
Yeah.
You might have to. Oh no, we can't kick a field goal here. We got to go. We got to go. And if people after the game are bitching because it's a loss and he tried to do some things, then you got to just remind everybody. See that offense over there?
Sure.
See that offense on the other side of the field?
Yeah.
I've got to stay with that, because his defense, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'd like to hear your opinion on it too. I think his defense is so handicapped now that he's just got to do something to help them.
Sure.
And he's going to need points. He's going to need a lot of points, I think, in this one.
Yeah. Zim is going to need points. Zim is going to need some otherworldly effort from his backup guys, and I think Zim is going to, maybe there's a creative little look that he was going to pull out later in the season. I think he has to pull out all of his secret stuff early. I don't think this is a situation where you could just tell your guys to go out there and be good, because all your guys that are normally good for you are out. I do think it's encouraging looking at the injury report, and Bland is full and Kalen Carson is full practice, so
right.
So you kind of got 4 cornerbacks that you relatively feel good about. Maybe you can do something interesting with that. I don't know, we'll see, but Zim is going to have to earn his
this is
money.
If you're going to have to, you need bad Jared Goff. You need on the road bad Jared Goff. The guy used to play poorly in cold weather and stuff like that. You need that guy showing up where there's a little pressure. He's not as accurate as he normally is. The things that scare me are the explosive runs, and those passes that are the crossing routes. We asked Eric Kendricks about that today on his show, and how difficult it is to defend the crossers and the 2-level crossers, and the things that the Lions are going to do to you. And I'm trying not to be wet blanket guy. I'm sorry, fans. I really am not. I'm saying, and I know you've watched the same tape I have. It is an impressive that play caller, Ben Johnson, gets it. Yeah. He will attack you. And I think Dallas is just so compromised in so many areas that, and maybe you do get another Wheat game and another Golston game. I mean,
well, see, Brian, I got a little pushback for you, Brian. I got a little fight for you today. Voch says this. Let me say this, Brian. Dak Prescott, normally, when Mike McCarthy is calling plays well, we got to preface and say that Dak Prescott normally eats man coverage for breakfast, Brian. It's normally these weird zone looks that'll kind of trip him up a little bit. But like if it's man and CDs moving around, then I think we typically have a really good shot on offense, and the Lions run it at 41.9%. So that's damn near half, Brian.
Let me tell you another thing that Dak Prescott eats up. When you play base defense.
Fair enough, yeah.
He is and I looked this number up because I was thinking, God, they play a lot of base. That 51%. I mean, they play a lot of base. So I diving down that hole, and here I am, and I learned this. The amount of base defense that the Lions play, Dak Prescott, league average for successful offensive plays is against base defense is right around 48%.
What that mean?
That will successful plays like more than 4 yards, successful plays, not a negative play or a zero play or thing. Successful plays.
Gotcha.
Dak Prescott runs it at about a 60% clip. Dak Prescott has not been sacked this year when a team's played base defense on him.
Wow.
I was diving down rabbit holes.
Let's go there, bro.
I was, and that's what I'm sitting there. And you're going to have to play a perfect game. I mean, you're going to get some terrible calls. We'll see what John Hussey does. John Hussey, I'm going to dive into that. He's your official for the game. I was talking with Bobby. Bobby was telling me that John Hussey has only called 3 defensive pass interference penalties this year. His crew has for the games that they've worked. Okay, now that could help the Lions, they're a grabby. Carlton Davis is a grabby dude. Arnold is a grabby dude. If they let these guys play, now maybe it helps the Cowboys too. We got some grabby dudes too.
Sure.
But I'm going to take my chances. If they blitz Dak Prescott, I know he's going to be fine. Sure. If they play him with base fronts and base coverages or base personnel, I know the chance of a successful play is right at 60%, which is 12% higher than the league average. Yeah. So I'm, okay, cool. Can't be bad in the red zone this year. Sure. Or in this game. Can't be. If you're bad in the red zone this game, you're going to lose. You're just going to lose. So when you drive the ball, get down there, get points. And I'm not talking about Butter Aubrey kicking field goals all day. I'm talking about get the damn ball into the end zone. Yeah. And force. And the Lions, maybe you catch a break. Maybe you get a stop or two, but your offense needs to be on point this game. It really, really does.
Brian, I think it's very realistic to assume that this Cowboys-Lions thing is going to look like a final score 42-35. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can totally see it being one of those track meet type of games. Cowboys Seattle last year. I can just see that. And honestly, Brian, I think it's going to come down to whoever gets 3 big stops. Whichever team gets 2 or 3 big stops.
I agree.
Turnover, possibly. Yeah. And this is why I think your corners being back are important. Jordan Lewis, Trey Diggs, even Carson can get to the ball. He can't catch it, but he'll get that. And then Bland being back, I think this is a fantastic week to hey, let's go get an interception, man. Let's see if we can get 2 of them. Let's see if we can get 2 interceptions, Yeah. But we have to stop the run first, and that's a
I agree.
That's a big challenge.
Totally agree.
It's a big challenge. Well, Brian, that's all I got for you, man. I think we've pretty much summed this thing up pretty good, man. I think the Lions defense they are what they are,
It is. There's possibilities there.
Yeah.
It's possibilities. And your quarterback, your receiver, hopefully your play caller is on point with their play caller, because he's going to challenge you. Detroit's guy's going to challenge you. You need to challenge the Lions. block that 97, attack 23, be mindful of where Branch is on the field, number 32, and then, but everything else, feel free to go after it, man. Just go after it, and make them have to defend you. Make them have to defend the whole field.
Sure.
In this football game.
Sure. Sounds good, Brian Bros. I'm gonna predict that weird 42-35 game. I just think
Dallas win.
Man, I'm a homer, Brian Broaddus, man. I'm always gonna pick Dallas until they lose, man. You know me.
Good for you. No, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I like I say, I don't believe at times.
I get it.
But please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I hope they do. It'll be a fantastic post game show if they do in fact prove you wrong, Brian Bros. That's all we got for y'all, man. We love y'all to pieces. Y'all be sure to follow me on my socials, Voch Lombardi, VOCH. I'm not talking about very much, but Bryan Broaddus. Make sure if you got any questions, leave them in the comments of this video. He'll be reading them at 5 in the morning, or follow him on his Twitter and ask him over there. He'll be sure to respond to you. All right, y'all hold it down. We love you to pieces. Until next time, crown.